voting in 2000.
Like you said to Trump, but they're getting beauty.
He said, go out there and rob these houses and bring back the bounty, and then that'll pay your way.
Because Republicans who get endorsement from Georgia carry that they mean anything.
You can't sit on the sidelines any longer. You must get involved in the game. This is your sign. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this special Saturday live stream. Here with me is Jackie Harling. Jackie Harling, how are you doing?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Jackie Harling, she is the chairwoman of the Walker County Republican Party here in Georgia. And we got her out here with us today. I'm going to let her talk for just a second and tell us a little bit about herself so we can kind of introduce her around, and then we'll kind of get to where we're going with this. So welcome to the show, Jackie.
Thank you.
Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what we're up to?
Well, it's just been a real boring time lately.
Yeah, right.
Okay, my name is Jackie Harling. I wear a lot of hats, but my main hat that I'm wearing right now is the Walker County Republican Party chairwoman, and that also puts me on the 14th District Executive Committee, and I'm also on the state committee, which is the governing body of the Republican Party in Georgia.
That's right.
Lots of things. The main job that I have right now is encouraging people to vote.
That's right.
We obviously can't sit this one out. I think everybody knows that by now, but it couldn't be more important. We have a country to save. In the words of Colton Moore, we have a country to save. We really do.
We do.
And we have to increase awareness. I think probably the biggest issue that we have is getting to the people.
That's right.
Because we live in an age where you're just constantly distracted.
Oh, yes.
By all the things, and getting to the people that support Trump, convincing people that don't support Trump to support Trump is not my job.
Right.
Right. I don't really care to waste my time doing that. But now I do. That sounds like I'm mean. I'm not. I mean, when I talk to people, that don't support Trump, I will always. I tend to always want to find something in common with them so
Right.
that they don't feel completely
Well,
disconnected.
sure, I get it.
And I do. I always do that all the time. But right now we're door knocking. We're making calls. We're writing postcards. We're going live, Facebook Live. When you don't feel like looking cute, you do it anyway. And and we also have our Trump store at the Walker County headquarters. And so we're encouraging everybody to come by. I believe they're open till 3 today.
Right.
And we have so much Trump merchandise. We have phenomenal flags, all sorts of flags, and an assortment of hats,
Yes.
and T-shirts and bracelets, and I think we have bandanas. We
Oh,
have like
yeah.
little headbands.
Yeah,
for people that
we've
don't
got a
want the
lot.
hats.
And Trump signs, everything, right?
Yes, a lot of people are out of Trump signs, but I got a big shipment.
Yeah, and by the way, speaking of that, if anybody needs any Trump signs this weekend, a lot of us are off and can get them to you. So if you want to try to get in touch with me through Messenger or Jackie, or just message the Walker GOP, we can make arrangements to get those to you. So it's not a problem. But let's back up just a minute. So 2024 is not just any election, all right? Now, I've heard... You go back through all the years, Bush's, Reagan's, Clinton's, and it's always been the most important election of our lifetime. But I kind of feel like that we've reached a cornerstone here where this particular election really puts America in the balance. Would you agree with that?
I would have to agree with that because we have lived the 4 years that Trump was president. So when the other side is lying to us and saying, oh, he said he's going to be a dictator on day one, I'm like, y'all, what won't they believe? That's my question. Is there anything that the media, the biased, paid-for news media could say?
I don't think there's
To
a
them
depth
that they
that they're
wouldn't
not
believe.
willing to sink
No,
to.
no.
I'm sure you're aware of the comments yesterday. Now they went with the Hitler 24-hour news cycle last week, and then they went through these other comments about Liz Cheney, which was completely fabricated and taken out of context.
Yeah.
And now they're trying to push this narrative about what he's talking about. I don't care what women think. I'm going to do it anyway without the proper context.
Right. Right.
This is getting like lower than the low of the garbage fake media. It just shows desperation, in my opinion.
Okay, that's exactly what I was going to say. So we have to point out some facts here because the news media really doesn't. All
Right.
they have is hate.
Hate.
They have hate for Trump, hate, gaslighting, and hate. So that's the only thing they're running on.
Right.
So they see the numbers. They see the Republicans coming out. We have never early voted.
Oh,
We've
no.
never.
No.
I've always been.
Wow.
I've always been. Vote on election day. Vote on election day. Trump, my commander in chief,
Right.
asked me to vote early. So I'm gonna. And so basically, we are winning. We are winning, and we're winning huge. And they are terrified. They're terrified, and they're screaming, and
Right.
and they're wailing. I mean, remember when he won in 2016? All the people just in shock and just dying because they just are so angry
Right.
that their message is not continuing to permeate.
Oh no, they've gotten into insane level territory. I mean, we really are dealing with an idiocracy out there. I mean, Trump is. I've always said this. He's no messiah. Trump is not a perfect person. There's a lot of things that we need to hold his feet to the fire about. But when you're dealing with the fact, a lot of people tend to forget, especially with all that's coming at us, that Joe Biden is still president of this United States of America.
Joe who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which tells you how crazy it is that you're dealing with a White House right now that has nobody at the helm.
Right.
And go back and remember the gaslighting even before Kamala Harris was not even chosen by her people, right? But she was chosen by the Democrat elitist to do this. She was still at the bottom of the totem pole. No, everybody was taking bets on other people. The governor of California, what is his name? Newsom. Gavin Newsom was one of the top picks. People were talking about Michelle Obama. We were so gaslit by all that we didn't even realize that like the next in chain was Kamala Harris, and they're having to prop this woman up and run her, and it's actually a disgrace that we have to watch this clown show unfold in front of us.
It really is because I mean, number one, if I were a Democrat, I'm not a Democrat obviously, but I feel really, really bad. One thing that's wonderful about our team is that we don't just love you if you're a Republican.
Right.
And we don't want freedom only for Republicans. We want freedom and liberty for all the people, including Democrats. And I feel highly, oh God, I'm going to use the word we don't like, offended. I'm offended that on behalf of Democrats, that their process, the democratic process,
is anything but.
Exactly. And I'm offended that they completely usurped that process.
But they've been doing it all along.
To ordain someone that the powers that be, the Oz behind the curtain, wants in place. Because I would feel cheated. And you know what? I think a lot of Democrats do feel cheated. And I think it's waking a lot of Democrats up.
What is the irony in the word democracy to me has become a dirty word for socialism, right? What is the irony in these people that are fighting for so-called democracy, yet there is nothing democrat about the process that is being taken place for them to choose who they're going to who's going to represent them.
It's just virtue signaling, and that's all it is. It has nothing to do with democratic principles or that constitutional republic that we actually live in. It's just keywords. It's just something that Kamala. Yeah, I call her Kamala.
Well, I feel like so many times you kind of said it already. So many times when we're dealing with the thought process, where is it somebody that is Republican or conservative minded versus somebody who is Democrat minded, we tend to think about things in a logical sense, like what makes the most sense to do.
Right.
And we don't
What's actually fair.
Right. What is good for the group? What is good for the people? And when you see these Democrat policies and these Democrat tactics, it's never about what's good for the people or what makes sense. It's what kind of edge they can have. What can they do to usurp, the good of the people?
Right. What's their agenda?
Yeah, that's what makes this election so special and so important. Is the balance of American civilization is on trial here. Where if we allow these Democrats to take the kind of control that they want, because this is all like a Saul Alinsky rules for radicals. It's a projection.
Yeah.
What they're doing, they project on the other side, and we're going to lose so much of this nation that it made it great to begin with.
I agree, and I think it's super important to be willing to say the truth. And the truth is, Kamala did not receive one vote.
Of course not.
And she's been ordained. And it's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for them, and I'm angry for them because they had a right to find a candidate and get behind them just like we did. And so Democrats, if you have any Democrats listening, you know what? Come to our team because we're fair. We're forgiving, and we actually value justice and liberty. So the big difference between Democrats and Republicans, I think something. I believe in conservative principles and all the things, but I don't get angry if you don't.
Right.
I respect your opinion. I respect other people's opinions.
Right.
And if they don't agree with me, that's okay. You don't have to love Trump. You don't have to like Trump.
No.
This is not a popularity contest.
No.
It shouldn't be a popularity contest. What it should be is policy over personality.
Well, I agree.
That's what logical brains, because, so many issues the president doesn't have anything to do with,
Right.
based on the Constitution.
Agreed.
So I have had people talking to me about, either Trump isn't strong enough pro-abortion or anti-abortion, and it's like nobody's ever happy with him, and he's trying to appeal to the most amount of people, and I know what he believes, but he has nothing to do with
Sure.
that actual issue. It constitutionally, it belongs to the states.
But
And I've been telling people
100%.
that. I've been telling people that, and they look at me. I've had a couple of issues. I've had a couple of Democrats that we have door knocked.
Right.
And one of them, actually on Lookout Mountain, I'm not, obviously I don't even remember her name, but she was, all she could do is just insanely spew hate about Donald Trump.
Well, they have no leg to stand on.
No, and
It's all emotional.
Exactly, it's all emotion, and it's not based on fact.
No, it never is. That's why the Democrat Party's fallen so far down the cliff.
Yes.
Everything's based on emotion. They have no foundation to stand on for their ideas.
No.
And
They have
so
no
they result
policies.
to insults and
policies.
orange man bad. And you're exactly right. I'll be the first to say I'm 100% against abortion. I would vote every single time against abortion. I am for saving every single life. However, it is a state's issue. It's not a federal issue, and we need
agree
to
with you, by the
cherish.
way.
We need to cherish that states' rights still exist, and that we have that because that falls back on our communities, and how do we want our community shaped, right? And obviously, we know that there's a big division in this country, but there again lies the emotion of you're just projecting something onto it as another resource to hate that person. You know?
Absolutely. Can you imagine? Can you imagine the entirety of the motive that people are saying you must vote for Kamala? Can you imagine their big issue? The thing that's going to make you come out is killing babies.
Oh, I know, and that's their
Can
foundation.
you imagine that?
We don't have to. This is
I
reality.
know it's
But
surreal. It is surreal.
It's like another dimension.
Yes.
See, we're not dealing with rational people. You know, I used to growing up when people were what's that term they called when people were intelligent thinkers? I can't think of the term, but it's kind of the whole thing is kind of changed now. Intellectuals, you know, intellectuals used to be your coffee shop, you know. People that, well, I'm an intellectual. That was just another word for I'm a Democrat. And no big deal. I mean, but the thing about it is like if you don't add logic, reason, common sense in everything that you're doing, and they deny those things so much, their foundation is crumbled, and it turns into nothing but emotion. It's sad. It
really is.
It's sad to watch this.
It really is, because it's amazing that we have come down to the policies of boys being allowed in girls' bathrooms.
Or cat litter boxes.
Or you want to be a cat today?
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
We're going to have to respect. It's insanity. Men in girls' sports. Now, anyone who knows me knows I'm not unkind to anybody. And I love everybody, okay? But enough's enough.
Yeah.
I am tired of being expected to enable gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
That really irks me. I can love those people, but to have certain institutions and certain businesses insist that I respect that insanity,
Yes.
and call them by certain pronouns, it's just insane. But
Where's the
I don't-
entitlement in that?
I don't understand. I don't understand how it got this far. And I remember in 2015 hearing about University of Tennessee, Knoxville, using weird pronouns. And I thought, that's got to be fake news. That's got to be fake news. That can't be real. That cannot be real. That can't be happening. And we brushed it aside. But things have been happening like that in our colleges and in our government institutions, and it's been creeping up, and now it's full blown on full display.
Yeah.
And it's like we're fighting a war not just for our liberty and our freedom and for the best policies to rule over us, basically the lower taxes and common sense, it's literally insanity.
It is.
versus sanity. It's
It is.
literally.
And I believe it's by design. You can't be this stupid without there being some kind of plan in place. And I think that's what we're realizing. I think more and more people are realizing it. And they're understanding just how serious this is, because you can go back in history and look at ancient civilizations, every civilization, and we always look back in hindsight and say, "Oh, that's where we messed up. That's where things messed up." And we're in a really, really messed up time in this nation, in this world.
Yes.
I feel like the world is on the cusp of waiting to see what happens in America before the next major move. And
we are the leaders of the free world. We
And
really are.
I think these wars are dependent on it. I think everything will be up until this point will be kind of decided as which path we break off after the 5th. Right?
I do. I agree. I agree with that. And it's so crucial.
It is.
It's so crucial that, okay, so we know really bad things in our election happened in 2020.
Yes.
We know the other team is so desperate
Yeah.
to win at all costs. They see the tide is turning. They see the number of people at the Trump rallies. They see the numbers for early voting,
Yes.
and they know they're us.
Yes.
And so we know they're going to do everything they can do to cheat.
Yeah, let's talk about this. So election fraud. We obviously have spent years on the grounds looking at all these different facets of election fraud. We know now 2024 is different. In 2020, we were dealing with worldwide pandemic. There were a lot of things shut down and out of our control, so they were very easy to move things behind the scenes, right?
Right.
Not so much in 2024. So
No.
we're kind of seeing fraud like out in the open, right? Every single day we're seeing election fraud in different areas of the country.
Yes.
And it's being highlighted. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so there's a good reason why we're seeing that now. Okay, so now I'm not going to really talk so much about other swing states. I'm going to talk about Georgia a little bit.
All right, yes,
So a lot of times people will argue with me when I beg them, demand, and nag them to death to vote. Well, why should I vote? My vote's not going to count. We know they're going to cheat.
Right.
We know that Fulton County, the DeKalb, whatever, those corrupt counties, who also have a lot of good people in them that are fighting
right.
for us, by the way, an addendum in there. So why should we vote? So here are some things that I specifically can attest to that maybe other people don't or won't. I haven't seen it anywhere. So here's just a couple of quick things.
Sure.
The state legislature in Georgia passed 3 election laws.
Okay.
Don't ask me their numbers because I'm not reading it right now, and I'm not going to remember that. But they made it a lot harder to cheat, a lot harder. Okay, so couple that with the Georgia State Board of Elections
Yes.
is now controlled by the good guys.
Right, not by MAGA Trumpers, by conservatives who are using
Trustworthy
common
people.
sense.
Yes,
and
not by,
logic.
we packed the court. No, the good guys are
Yeah.
actually just people that are going to do their actual job, not sway it on to, for us, but just be honest and ethical. Okay? So that's a huge thing. So when something happens that's completely fraudulent, completely corrupt, when it is presented to the Board of Elections, they're not going to be fraudulent and corrupt in how they assess
they're not
it.
going to shove it under the rug.
Correct.
You're not going to get another judge out of this. They're actually looking into this stuff, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And the
And
same can be
still
said.
fighting.
Oh, yes, absolutely. The same can be said about the Fulton County Board of Elections. So we now, when I say we, honest, ethical people have the majority in that county. Couple that with the new election laws. Couple that with the fact that our state Republican Party chairman, Josh McCoon, is an attorney. And he has been working behind the scenes and maybe some, not so behind the scenes. He has compiled a long, long list. We have hundreds of attorneys
I've seen that.
ready to go. They are trained. They know what they're going to do. They have done runs. They have run every scenario that you can do. He is on this, and
Okay.
he's been working very, very hard.
Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I've been very, very defensive of Mr. Josh McCoon.
Okay.
Because he is a rock star. He, doesn't go on he's not on every street corner yelling
Oh,
election
yeah.
fraud happened
He
because
does keep
that's
the GOP
insane.
updated with everything that they're doing.
Yes.
I've seen the email where they've got teams of lawyers that
Yes.
are waiting,
Yes.
which is sad that we're in this state. I have to point out that we're in this state of Georgia with a Republican majority, and yet we're having to still fight tooth and nail and make absolutely sure that our election processes are going to be done correctly.
Because as you know, just because you call yourself a Republican doesn't mean you actually are on the side of. I know it's a
Like
weird
a Republican
concept.
in name only. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Got a few of them out there.
I mean, it's just it is what it is. When people want to do bad things, they pretend to be on the good team, and that's how they get it done. So we can't be stupid and just trust people because they have R's by their names. We have to vet them, and we
agree.
have to work with them. And luckily, I have had the honor of working with a lot of people in the last few years that I've been involved in the GOP, and we fought alongside each other, little battles here and there, and we, you kind of realize who the good ones are.
Right. Oh, I mean, obviously, everybody. Well, there was a really good. I can't remember who said it, but we in politics, especially, you meet people all the time that are they come out of the box and they're saying all the right things and telling you exactly what you want to hear and making you kind of fall in love with them. And, a few months later, you start scratching your head when they do something completely opposite. Like, what is going on here? So, the first part of the getting into politics, I think, is to realize the people that are genuinely there to make a difference, to make positive change, are the ones that are just riding people's coattails and trying to get a leg up or using you for a cause to get where they need. There's a whole lot of that goes on here, and we have to have constant discernment.
And people are constantly shocked by it. I'm like, okay, so if someone's going to rob you, the burglar's not going to come up to your house and say, "Hey, I just want you to know that I'm pretending to be nice right now." But as soon as the lights go off, about an hour when I think you're asleep, I'm going to rob you, just to let you know. People do not tell you when they're there for nefarious reasons.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of actual Republicans that get elected and don't end up being as strong as they could be or what we wanted them to do and wanted them to be. I think a lot of times they're really good people.
Yeah.
That are just not quite as strong and courageous and brave in the face of peer pressure of it's you want to be included, you want to be loved wherever you are, and people get in Congress or the state legislature and they start making friends and, hey baby, you want to do this, hey buddy, and I think a lot of times it's just a slow traveling down the road of it looks like I think maybe they were good, and they had the best of intentions.
Sure.
But that's why you have to be super, super careful about who you support.
That's
because number one, it's hard to get people willing to do it. They don't make enough money.
They don't
in our
make
state
enough money.
legislature, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know it's a political game, and the game is already rigged when they get in. You take a good person who has the right ideas, the right attitude, and the minute they get into office, they get sat down in a chair and being told, look, this is the way it's going to be.
By leadership.
You either do this and you stay in this lane, or if you get out of this lane, we're going to make your life a living
Right.
what. And we've got to fight against that. We've got to get more people that are willing to stand up and say, regardless, no, this is what we're going to do.
Right.
But it
we need
takes
more
people.
courageous people.
Well, how can we expect a representative or somebody that we elect to do this without the public support as well?
Right.
So this is, I think, what we're trying to allude to is this is what it's so important to get involved in local politics, get involved in your local parties, in your local commission offices, your local boards, because if you're going to elect these people, they need your support. In other words, they need to know that you're backing them and that you're going to stand with them every step of the way so we can continue to make it stronger, because it's kind of like chipping away at a real hard surface. Like you're trying to get to the center of the Tootsie Roll. You can't just do that with one lick. It's got to be several, right?
Right. I agree.
So.
I agree. So it's super important. But we do have a lot of people behind the scenes. You can do good things and not. We have some firebrands. We also have people behind the scenes that are working to get good things done that aren't
I agree
real
with
obvious.
that. I agree with that. anybody with common sense understands that there's tightropes that need to be walked, right? You can't just walk in. Not everybody can be like Colton Moore. We want 50 Colton Moores, right? We're striving for 50 Colton Moores, but we don't have them. And some of these people can be salvaged. And I honestly, Jackie, I think that I talk to a lot of people all over the state, and I'm telling you, the movement's going on all over. A lot of these legislatures are starting to realize now that the public isn't going away,
Right.
that they're there and they're demanding the accountability, transparency. And I've heard rumors that some of these legislators are starting to reach out to the people and say, okay, look, it's not that these people are your enemies, is they have to have that support. They have
do.
to know that you're there and that you want this,
It's a really
because
hard job.
it's the
Yeah.
same thing as a kid in the kitchen and the cookie jar. If nobody is there, that kid's going to take the cookies out of the cookie jar.
Yeah.
If you're there and you're saying you can't have these cookies, that's when the real accountability happens.
Right.
So it's a mutual partnership, right?
Amen. Amen.
So,
So it's crucial.
It is.
It's crucial to support your legislators. It's crucial to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Before 2020, I didn't know about the Walker County Republican Party.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know about the 14th Congressional District Republican Party.
Right.
I didn't know about I maybe knew about them. It was just this secret thing I didn't know
it was
anything
a
about.
country club is what it was.
I didn't even know that much. I thought I was so awesome because I was really good at debating who people should vote for president. And I didn't realize that's just a tiny bit of it. And there's so much good people can do to
Right.
get involved and affect who's on your election board and affect who is in leadership.
That's right.
For the state GOP, because the state GOP right now is doing so many wonderful things.
Yep.
In fact, last year, when we had the county conventions and the district conventions and the state convention, basically the Patriots took over.
A
And a lot of
them
people
did.
don't know about that. But a lot of great people, became leaders in their communities. And are they perfect? Of course not. But a lot of good things are happening. I had a conversation with a gentleman who was going to donate some money to our district fundraiser, and he was going to do it but he wanted to talk first, and he just kind of wanted to vent a little bit. And he said, I don't even know if I consider myself a Republican anymore, and because this and this and this and this and this. And I said, hey, I get you. I feel your pain. I've thought the same things, but you don't know about these things that have been going on. And so I explained to him about, that there's more of us, that we're in it for the right reasons. We want liberty,
Right.
justice. We don't, no, we don't worship Trump. I can't stand it when people think I do. I actually like him. I get him. I'm not offended by him like a lot of people are, because I reject, I rebuke when people are trying to gaslight me. I know when it's happening. And when I read a story or see something on the news, when people are telling me how to feel about something they're talking about, that's called gaslighting. News media should be telling you facts and let you assess. You determine how you feel about those facts that were just. But we don't have that kind of news media. We haven't for quite some time. But I told this guy, this wonderful person, wonderful patriot, about the Fulton County Board of Elections, about the state Board of Elections, about the fact that Josh McCoon has got lawyers ready to go. We have a hotline. I'm not going to give it to you because I don't want Democrats clogging it up. But every county chairman has this number. Every poll watcher has this number, and we're on this.
Right.
And of course they're gonna try to cheat. But we literally have to have it be too big to rig, and we mean that, and we can.
Well, I think it sends we not only do we need the electoral vote here, but we need the popular vote here to have a total victory, so we can send a clear message that we're going to take this culture war back to a great country. We're going, policies the way to go. If you look at the team that Trump has around him this time, that you contrast that with the swamp that he walked into. Can you imagine what people like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, Tulsi Gabbard, all of these people are going to... I even heard a rumor that they might even put Dan Bongino as Homeland Security, and I was like, that's like a dream team. That's what we grew up with NBA and Major League Baseball, the dream team. And could you imagine Elon Musk being in there cutting the fat off of this government?
I mean, I'm so excited.
I am too.
I'm so excited that all these guys that were maybe not Republicans, and they realize if they don't join this team, then their children, their grandchildren aren't going to have a country to live in, because we don't want to be Venezuela. And they were prosperous and wonderful, and they went down the same road that they're trying to make us go down now. And it's not a pretty place. It used to be the most wealthy country, and you know, we take our freedom and our wealth for granted
all the time.
We can lose it in the blink of an eye. And I've been a full-fledged adult, and I have lived through the 4 Trump years.
Sure.
And I have, do you know, okay, just let's listen to this. In the last 16 years, we know the mess this country is in, right? And we know Kamala is running as the underdog, and let's just turn this page. Okay, you know what page she needs to turn? In the last 16 years, only 4 years have been controlled by Republicans.
That's right.
So when the shape that this country's in cannot be blamed on Donald Trump.
No, good Lord, we know
It's
that's
embarrassing.
A gaslight. It is.
It's embarrassing. It's wrong. It's incorrect. It's a flat out lie.
Absolutely.
That's all they do is lie.
That
She
goes
has
back
no
to,
policies.
That goes back to our election process too. I mean, electronic election process. So for the last 4 out of 16 years, they've been able to dictate the election boards. They've been able to dictate how elections take place, modify the rules and changes to where we are now today. And for the first time in several years, we've taken some of that power back. And what have they done with the elections? Nothing. They said what we're going to do is bring it back to where it's an actual election, where it's not controlled. It's controlled by the vote of the people. Right. And that's what we're fighting for. And I also want to say, if you're not convinced to go vote, right, 2 things should convince you. I can't stand the rhetoric that I hear from people talking about, y'all should stop talking about 2020 and blah, blah, blah. No. Learning just how much had taken place through these elections should amplify your desire to go vote, because you know how serious it is. And secondly, what we just touched on, the dream team.
Yes.
That right there alone, where you're getting party lines being, but we're not talking about Liz Cheney, Rhino walking over, neocon going, I'm going to join. No, we're talking about real people that control real companies, that make real change, that are coming across and saying, hey, we're going to do this. Those 2 things alone should make you just want to get up out of your chair, go right down to your precinct and vote. Because that's how serious it is. We need every one of them, right?
Absolutely. We need every single vote.
Yes.
I will say, we can complain about a lot of things, but I'm going to read something here.
Sure. And we are going to be we're doing comments, so if we want to leave a comment, we got a bunch of good ones we're going to get to in just a minute.
Okay, let's see. Something really, people are coming out to vote. I don't know about everywhere else, because my head is buried in Walker County, okay, in the 14th district. But let's see. Out of the voters who have done early voting, we've had 53%.
Wow. In the countywide, 53%?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So I'm so proud of Walker County. Yeah. But
we need 100.
I want everybody. I mean, I know there's going to be some people that are too old to kind of even understand what's going on, and we haven't connected with them. Whatever. Please, if you're listening to me right now and you haven't voted, do whatever you have to do.
That's right.
Don't go bowling. Don't go to dinner with friends. Don't do anything. Make your job be to vote, because you need to vote. We can outnumber the cheating. We can. If everybody in Walker County, just one county, can undo the Fulton crap.
100%. And mind you, all of this election integrity issues we're seeing all over the state and several states, they're doing this out in the open because they have nowhere else to do it. They're not going to be able to shut these polling stations down at 9:30 at night saying that there was a leak in the water pipe. They're not going to be able to put cardboard over it. People are not just going to walk out on this. They have no other option than to go out in broad daylight. And this is what you're seeing, the desperation of these people, because they know they cannot do it. That doesn't mean that there's not other ways that our federal and state levels are working to allow illegals to vote and allow these the voter rolls to be completely tainted. We know we have these issues, and we've got so many people that are actively watching this stuff. The teams of lawyers ready to go. They know the only way they can try to do anything is in broad daylight, and that's what we're seeing day by day.
Yes.
So
I've got a couple little statistics
Sure,
too. This
sure,
is so
please.
So we have people are getting their grandparents to vote. People are getting their parents to vote. And just a couple of things here. 2 people over 100 years old and 135 people between the ages of 90 and 99 have voted.
wow.
And we're confirming to make sure they're real.
Well, I tell
'Cause
you,
that's what we're doing.
I go through the courthouse all the time, and I
Yes.
see people coming in there in wheelchairs.
Yes.
There's no excuse. They got a wheelchair ramp,
Yes,
man. I see them
it's
coming in
wonderful.
all the time. They're busy. We're right across the street from it. It's amazing to see, but it's your civic duty.
It
and
is.
I
You
think,
can't complain.
yeah,
You lose your right to complain
Sure.
if you don't vote. You have to vote.
That's right.
And of course, we want you to vote Republicans down the line.
yeah, sure, absolutely.
Down the line.
Absolutely.
Because
That's where
they're not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe that they're just and they're honest.
Mm-hmm.
And we may not agree. Republicans don't have to agree on every little thing, but we agree on the important things.
No, and
that's important.
Let's contrast this with 2016. The first 2 years of Trump's presidency. Okay, I go back to this. You got to remember what's going on. The first 2 years of Trump's presidency, we had a Republican majority, and we got nothing done, right? Because the swamp was just being sort of starting to drain. We were seeing the opposition on both sides. And then what happened? They unleashed a pandemic on this world that literally shut everything down and led up to 2020, right? So we've been continually draining the swamp and moving these people out of the way. Imagine now, if you will, the last remnants of these rhino establishments up in D.C. that are going to get whisked away with the sludge water because of this dream team coming in with a majority Republican House, Republican Senate. Imagine what we can get done to turn these things around, to stop these wars, to bring peace back into the Middle East, to strengthen our economy, deflate our money. There's so many things that we can accomplish if we had a Republican majority this time with this particular group of people in place.
Amen.
That should be
Amen.
enough I get cold chills thinking about it. You've got to get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
That's right.
And encourage everybody you know
That's right.
to get out and vote.
And then,
Yes. You know what I'm ready for, though?
what's that?
I'm ready to make America healthy again.
That's right. That's right. We have a conversation. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. If you're keeping up in the least of the things that he's saying, think about the conspiracy jar that's over full now, because these things that we used to not even be able to talk about without getting called tinfoil hatters is real and in your face. And think about what he's talking about fighting the pharmaceutical companies, fighting the food companies, getting chemicals out of here, getting people off of these medications. This is a real thing, and it looks so good to me in the future.
Oh my gosh, me too. And obviously, don't forget to pray.
Absolutely. Bring God
Pray without
back in
ceasing.
everything.
Amen. And vote and pray, pray and vote, and get everybody out there.
That's right.
Ask your friends. Be nags. Be annoying.
That's right.
I don't want to bother anybody. Bother everybody. Bother everybody. Bug them to death.
That's
I think
right.
I asked everybody at my Halloween party.
Yeah.
Have you,
have
you
Are
voted?
you kidding me?
Have you voted?
I'm talking to so many people. So, all right, we're going to go to comments real quick. Some good ones in here. So, Jennifer Beth Naley Beasley says, "Hey, hello. It's good to have you with us today." David Mabe, good to see you, sir. He says, "Look what's going on in Fulton County right now. They are pulling out all the tricks." So,
Yes.
absolutely, and we've covered a little bit of that. Keep your eyes on these Atlanta counties, because I'm telling you, the Republican Party seems to be keeping a big watch on it. We've got major pushes from grassroots groups that are ready to hit the line running against all this. So we have a lot of players in place and people that are ready to fight. So.
Yes.
Jennifer Bethnell Beasley says, "What about ABC releasing fake results in Pennsylvania?" Did you see that?
I did see that.
I think honestly that was just really just, let's call it what it is, a stupid gaslight from one of their workers. I believe that it was just something funny that somebody decided to do, and of course they're going to exacerbate it to bring emotion out of us. It's stupidity is what it is.
I mean, who knows? I don't doubt that they're going to try to fix it. Mm-hmm. I don't doubt any of these things, but what I can say is all of our eyes are open.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Our eyes are open. We're not going to take anything for granted, and we're not going to be shocked by anything. I can tell you that the Republican team of lawyers and election integrity experts that are on this in Georgia, which is a crucial swing state.
It is.
We are on it, and they have run every scenario that you could possibly imagine happening, and to see how they would handle it. Right. So we're on this.
That's good.
We're on this. We just got to have your vote because we don't cheat.
There you go.
So we have to have the legit vote.
We don't cheat. And though I'm voting for Trump, I want Trump to be elected. I want a free and fair election before I'll ever tell you that I want Trump to win. I want a free and fair and honest, transparent election down the line.
Amen.
All right. Zach Brandenburg says, "Good to see you." Zach said, "We've come such a long way for women's rights in this country in the last century, and it's insulting for the party who loves women to tell anyone who wants to be a woman turning the wheel back." Truth. What can you even say? It's clown world. You can't even justify it in your head.
No, I can't tolerate the left thinking that they can even defend women's rights when they don't. Mm-hmm. My body, my choice.
That's right.
They want to be able. We got to be able to kill the babies, but they also want to be able to force me to inject something into my body without my consent.
Right.
My body, my choice is their convenient catchphrase. Means nothing. They just want your vote.
That's
they
right.
don't want your freedom, and they don't want you to have any choice. Because if you didn't get the you know what, then you were fired, and they were wholly behind that. And if you didn't want to inhibit your oxygen intake for the day,
that's right.
They wanted you to wear a stupid mask that in 2015 was proven not to prevent the flu virus from going through the mask.
Oh yeah. Well, look
and
at the
COVID is like 1/3 the size. So it's just it's all virtue signaling. It's all about control.
That's right.
They don't care about your freedom. Republicans care about your freedom.
That's right. We do, absolutely. Dorothy Michelle, good to see you. Says, "Hi, y'all. Just stopping in. Good to see you. Thank you for that." Nikki Lee from South Georgia, the great patriot from Nikki Lee. Good to see you. She says, "Of course this is happening again. Kemp and Raffensperger don't want to go to trial for 2020 election fraud when Trump wins." Wow, most certainly. I don't think we're ever going to get to the complete bottom of this, but things are really going to change. And there's new evidence dropping daily about 2020 still at this time. So Betty Brady says, replying to Zachary Brandenburg, "And they are dumb enough to ask, what is a woman?"
Yeah.
I still haven't seen that Daily Wire, What is a Woman yet. I really want to see that, but I heard it was really, really good.
Who has time to see anything? We're knocking on doors, and we're singing the anthem for J.D. Vance.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to be doing it Monday, right?
Yes.
In Cobb County?
I just found that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
J.D. Vance. So you got to do it when he was in
Rome, and then Atlanta.
In Atlanta, and now
Yes.
you're going to get to do it again. So
Yes.
that's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes. I'm always ready to represent.
There you go. Charles Stokers has finally got on and had a problem with Rumble. All right. Welcome, Charles. Zach Brandenburg says, "I travel the state talking to young people about voting. Any first-time voters are listening and encouraged by the work Georgia GOP is doing to safeguard our elections. Many current registered voters are now voting again because of this." That's wonderful.
Wonderful.
news.
I love that, Zachary. Zachary, I call you Zach. Hey, Zach. If you are just registered to vote, please use the power, use the authority that you have to make a difference in this election, because you're going to feel really good about it.
That's right.
You're going to feel really, really bad about yourself if you don't.
That's right.
And it's the right thing to do, and we encourage you. And if anybody has any questions about where to vote, am I registered to vote, all those things, go on the Walker County Republican Party Facebook page and message me or put it in a comment to anything. I get notifications when anybody says anything.
Right.
So you can also go to my Facebook page, Jackie Harling. I don't think there's but maybe 3 of us in the whole country, so it'll obviously be me. Friend me, message me. We will do everything that we can do to help get you signs, help you figure out where to vote. At this point, your last chance to vote is on Election Day.
That's right.
So if you haven't voted, and honestly, this is the first election in my lifetime that I have ever voted early.
Right.
And so if I can do it, hey, I
Right.
know a lot of people did it with me, but if you haven't voted yet, you got to do it on Election Day.
That's right.
So we want no excuses. They're open from 7 to 7.
That's right.
So there's no excuse, and if you're in pain or anything, take a little lawn chair. If there's a line, whatever you have to do to make this work. I also want to tell people that I need people in Walker County to sign wave. And to plant signs for me at every voting district, at every polling location in Walker County. So please make a comment if you're willing to. I'm going to be doing a Sign Up Genius today for that. I'm going to get that out to everybody. I want everybody waving Trump signs and Marjorie signs and just all Mike Cameron signs. All the good signs, okay? I want you waving, but we need people to do that.
Right.
So if you could comment that you're willing to do that, I'll put you in the Sign Up Genius, and we're actually going to be having a meeting for. I have to brag. I have to brag. I have to take a moment to brag. In Walker County, we have 100% coverage with
For
poll watchers.
That's right. That's
in
right.
every voting precinct. I am so, and
that's
I
good.
believe
That's good.
Joanna said that Catoosa County has that as well.
That's good.
So I'm so happy about that. And so we're having a little get together on Sunday at 4 at headquarters.
Good.
For if you are poll watching on Election Day, or want to sign wave or do any of that stuff, we're having a little last minute meeting.
Right.
To kind of go over the main things and some pointers and kind of have a rah-rah session.
Good.
And so I'm excited. I'm really, I tell you what an exciting time to be
To be
a
involved,
county
to be
chairman
alive,
or do
yeah.
any of this stuff.
To be involved.
It's fabulous.
Yep.
It's
This
fabulous.
is history in the making.
Oh, I have another thing
Sure.
to brag about. So we are in the 14th Congressional District, MTG's.
That's dark
MTG's
MTG.
district. Yeah, dark. My husband designed this hat. Anyway, he didn't make it, but he designed it. I think Jeff Jacks made this for us. So
Nice.
thank you, Jeff. Shout out to Jeff. Woo. So just to let everybody know, the 14th District has led the way in early voting.
That's awesome.
We are up. We are increased from the numbers from 2020 by 111%.
Wow.
And that's the biggest percentage jump of any district in Georgia.
That is great.
So
you guys.
shout out to Denise Burns, the 14th District chairwoman, who
Right.
we love and adore.
We love Denise.
We love Denise. We love MTG, and
That's right.
and I think we can brag about that. There's
Okay.
some good bragging stuff there.
Sounds good. Dorothy says, got to watch those kind of sweet talking bulls. They lie a lot. Absolutely. Well, weakening the peer pressure goes on, but they have to fight against it.
Amen.
And Brian Queen, good to see you, sir. A very
Love
active
Brian.
patriot. Love you guys for all you. Oh, hang on. Sorry, sometimes my cord acts up. It says, love you guys for all you've done for us. We thank you. And Charles.
Love you, Brian.
Yes, we love you, Brian. Charles says, Mary, did you know? I think that's the song that he loves.
He
to
loves
sing.
me to sing that song.
Right. Joanna Hildreth, wonderful, wonderful patriot from Catoosa County. She says, have you seen Ron Paul and Elon Musk conversation? Hang on. Have you seen Ron Paul and Elon Musk conversation on X about Ron joining Elon and cutting spending? All right. I think we're good now.
No, have you
I
seen it?
didn't. I actually heard about that this morning and saw the post about it. Good Lord. Saw the post about it, And I'm going to be watching that sometime this afternoon. So, yeah, that would be phenomenal. Ron Paul is one of my heroes. And, of course, Elon Musk is making huge waves. So, real happy about that. But, no, I thank you for reminding me. I'm going to definitely be checking that out today.
Absolutely. That's so exciting. All these cool, like the
Yes.
coolest people are coming on board and joining us. And it's a great time. Great time to be alive. Great time to be a Republican.
Charles mentions also George Behezi, Ben Carson, Tucker Carlson, Marjorie Clayton Rawson,
Go Tucker.
Derek Grayson, Derek Gibson, even Ryan O'Brien Kemp has endorsed Trump. Yeah, he has.
We're thankful for that, too.
And Zachary says 146 rural counties. If each county increased by 4%, we'd beat it. One county alone would solve it. Imagine if every county did this.
Yes.
And I'm glad to hear District 14 is on the up and up. Gary Williams says, how did the event go for MTG at the Macklemore?
Okay.
I thought it went good.
Yes. Okay, so for all of you who don't know, the 14th District Republican Party had a fundraiser at the Macklemore Golf Resort on October 14th. And our Congresswoman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, invited her good friend Tucker Carlson to be the headliner.
Here, you talk, and I'm going to change that
Okay.
cord out real quick.
Technical difficulties.
Go ahead.
So Denise Burns put me in charge of it. So you're going to be the fundraising chairman. Yes, I love you, Denise. It was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, but it was the most rewarding because I have so many wonderful people that helped me. Mainly, oh my God, Joanna Hildreth. I mean, there's nothing I don't think that we could do together that we couldn't do together after doing this. It was so wonderful, and the main takeaway that I would like for people to have was obviously Tucker was wonderful. Marjorie was wonderful. We love her. And Tucker was everything good that you could imagine that he would be and nothing bad. He was phenomenal. And the main thing was that we raised over $200,000 and we did it without any PACs, any political PACs.
That's right. It was all
Patriots,
grassroots, right?
Grassroots,
Patriots.
Local businessmen, even some people in Chattanooga, and just good people wanting to come fellowship together and be a part of that. And we're not owned by anybody.
That's right.
That except good people. And so it was a huge success. It was sold out. And we had, I believe, around 20 or 30 people on a waiting list. So we're very, very grateful. And we had so many wonderful people help us to sell tickets and to be Sergeant of Arms, Ray Blankenship, Perry Byers, obviously Kathleen Thorman, Diane Putnam, everybody.
Right.
And of course now everyone I didn't name is going to be offended that I didn't name their names. But
it was a
so
good
awesome.
event. It was
awesome.
kind of surreal to meet Tucker Carlson. So glad he was able to come out and represent the county and the district.
You didn't know if I was serious when I asked you to be
No, I didn't.
Sergeant
When
of
she
Arms.
asked me to be Sergeant at Arms, I was like, no, this can't be serious. But it was. So, all right, let's see. Charles says, my daughter is flying in from Hawaii to vote. That's wonderful. We need every single vote to count. Let's see. Zachary replied for beautifully executed, well done. And Charles says some of our strong patriots in Georgia should be appointed onto the Trump administration team. Well, you never know.
I agree. I agree, Charles.
Let's see.
That would be fun. That'd
I got
be a fun
so
gig.
many comments. I'm going to have to go over just a couple of them. Zach says they yell bad information. The best way to combat bad information with better information, not censorship. Censorship is about control.
Yes.
Why is this? Sorry. I'm having a little bit of difficulty here with my board. I don't know why.
Do you want me to
It could be
give you
this
that?
microphone. No, we're going to finish this
Okay.
thing out. So.
Okay. Yes, I see some comments here. Be in line. If you are in line by 7 p.m., you will be able to vote.
Yes.
If you are not, you won't be able to. So please get your booty over there before 7 and get in line, no matter what you have to do, call in sick, whatever you have to do.
Yep.
We've got to make this happen. And also, just a little FYI, look at your ballot.
Oh, you check your
Just
ballot.
look at your ballot. When it's printed from your machine, just go down the list, take a moment, make sure that everybody you voted for is on that sheet of paper.
That's right.
Before you put it into the machine. And I think I had some people asking me, should it be face up or face down? It's counted no matter if it's face up or face down, so don't panic about that. But I just did mine face up just
right.
because.
Well, they usually will tell you how to put it in anyway.
Yeah.
And if you have a discrepancy, report it. Report it. Start a paper trail, and that way it's documented. So absolutely. And let's see. Joanna says yes. Catoosa GOP has total poll watcher coverage. Joanna, she's a national. She's a Catoosa County treasure for sure. We love her down there. She's doing such wonderful work. She says the early voting turnout is 60%. That is phenomenal.
That's awesome.
And she says Catoosa loves our friends in Walker. We love you guys too. Y'all are awesome
We
over
love
there.
you too.
Jan Ellis Weaver, good to have Jan with us. She says Jackie did a professional job organizing that event, and I must say you did. Never in my life would I thought I'd be in the Macklemore in a suit meeting Tucker Carlson. That's another one of those weird dimensions worlds.
Yes.
It was incredible. I agree. And Jan also says Jackie and Joanna were volunteers who did a better job than most professionals. Actually, you couldn't ask for a better job with everybody took it seriously. They did their job, and it turned out to be a phenomenal event. And it was something that, to put in your history books, in your bucket list.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. And it was so fun working with our fellow patriots.
Yeah,
and,
it was.
And, Joanna and Denise and all the wonderful volunteers, Sherry. Oh my gosh, so many people worked so hard, and it was so fun. And it was also really wonderful to meet a lot of local people, and we made a lot of friends. And those people are going to get involved in our parties, and so it's what it takes.
That's what the takeaway. Not only do you need to go vote, but get in touch with your local GOP. Zach posted the link to it. You need to get involved in your local politics. Get involved with your people. Strengthen numbers. We can make real change this way. We can hold people accountable. Elect new positions. There's so much. I'll go back what you said when I first even heard about a GOP. I thought it was something you had to be picked to be involved, or you had to be asked to be involved. I had no idea that it was an open membership, open. So much that we learned together.
So how can people, if you want to get involved and you're still saying, well, how do I do that? So you, first of all, find the Facebook page.
Right.
Of wherever county you are. If you're in Catoosa, find the Catoosa County Republican Party page. If you're in Walker, you can also follow the 14th district.
Right.
You're probably in the 14th district if you're listening to us.
That's right.
And the state. So follow those Facebook pages and turn on notifications. And everything we do, we post. And also, if you give us your email address, then everything we do, we will send you an email about.
That's right.
So we meet once a month with a few exceptions. We meet the third Tuesday of every month. And that's a great place to start because then you meet fellow Republicans, and then you hear what's going on, and you see ways. There's always
you start learning the process.
Yes, and there's ways to get involved and help, because if you come to a meeting, we always feed you. So come hungry, and there's like 30 minutes of fellowship, food and fellowship time, because we have to make this fun. And I've met some of the best people in the world just through volunteering.
There's more ways to get involved. You bring people in. We bring speakers from out of town. We try to keep up with current events, get you involved in different ways, because that's what we need. People. We need people. We need people that's ready to hands on the ground. Boots on the ground.
Amen.
One other thing I'm going to share before we go is I wanted to bring this up real quick. So we're having an election watch party this Tuesday. On November the 5th, and I put it right here. This is the flyer. So I'm inviting people. This is going to be myself. We're going to do an open live stream panel. Derek Grayson and the Cliff's Edge is coming up from Atlanta. They're going to be there. some other folks. I've heard that Eugene Yu is coming up to this. He's a great dude, and I can't wait for him to hang out with us. And then the Walker County GOP, this is where we're going to do it. We're going to be starting at 7 p.m. at the Bank of Lafayette. We're going to have a big jumbotron, screen with a projector. We're going to be projecting the live results. We're going to have music. We're going to have people singing some light acoustic.
He doesn't realize that yet, but yes.
So Jackie's going to be singing. We're going to have, it's a potluck. You can bring your own food and drink. We're going to be having a little bit of food there. We just figure everybody can pitch in. We're going to have the live stream set up where it's going to be showing the room as well as the panel of people while we're watching, and pretty much anybody can get up and talk there. We're going to try to have a Zoom call as well on another computer. So it's different ways that you can kind of chime in as we watch this historic election and see what happens. But you can go back to my Facebook page and find the flyer there. But I'm really excited
People
about
have been
that.
asking me about a watch party.
Yeah.
So this is the Walker County. This is our watch party.
Mm-hmm.
We're working with Roy and some other people. So this is our official watch party. So
Yeah.
we're going to come. But what could be better than watching hopefully Trump win and eating potluck?
I have to agree. I at first I felt like, not from you, of course, but I was kind of roped into this. I intended to just have a small get together here and live stream because I have to work that day anyway. I'll be leaving early. But as it's kind of progressed into what it is, I'm getting super excited about it because it's gonna be beautifully decorated. We're gonna have a lot of different ways for you can come and let your voice be heard, right? You can give some insight into what you want, and we can enjoy that fellowship together. So I think it's going to be fun, and it will be a very secure event. I can promise you that. I know some of that gaslighting's out there. We will have total security at this event. You won't even know who it is, but I promise you this is a safe event. So
Yes. Republicans are safe.
That's right, and we always will be. So, Jackie, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
You've
having
done
me.
so much great work in Walker County. I can't wait to see what the next year holds for the GOP, and Lord willing, we'll get another Donald Trump presidency, and we'll really be able to see the concrete changes going forward.
Amen.
To making everything great again.
Amen.
So,
Well, thank you for all you do
Yes.
in getting the word out and getting the truth out to people, and that's essential. And
Try my best.
I know, right? I'm hopeful, and I'm happy to be a part of the good stuff that's going to be
Me too.
happening. And I encourage everybody. We want to see you at our meetings, and we want to see you at our election party, and we need you to vote.
That's right. You can support me on GiveSendGo.com/Small Town Underground. This is a one-man show. All donations go to Small Town Underground for it to fix these stupid boards that start going out. You can always help me with a like, share, subscribe, share it around with your family, friends. And you can help me most by going out and voting on November the 5th and showing up at the polls and bringing District 14 to the forefront of the state of Georgia and tell them no longer, this is business as usual, no longer. We're going to take this state back, our country back. So,
Amen.
you guys have a great time. I'll see you guys Tuesday night live here after the election ends, and y'all be safe.
Legislature legalized unverifiable voting in 2000.
Like you said to Trump, but they're getting beauty.
He said, go out there and rob these houses and bring back the bounty, and then that'll pay your way.
Because Republicans who get endorsement from Georgia areas that they mean anything.
You can't sit on the sidelines any longer. You must get involved in the game. This is your sign.